right.
Today we have 154 players of OFCRA and the BIA taking on each other in this early Cold War scenario.
So who is who?
So who's who? So OFCRA are playing as the Warsaw Pact. This comprises of the Czechs, the Soviets, the East Germans, and a fictional Yugoslav side.
All right.
And against them are NATO, which is played by the BIA, which will have Belgium, the Netherlands, the UK, and West Germany.
All right.
Yeah, what makes this unique, this is the biggest mission OFCRA has ever hosted, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
It will feature assets we've never used before, really en masse, fast attack aircraft, tanks, very interesting and potentially scary assets.
All right.
We'll see how this one goes down. I'm quite scared, but I hope it's fine.
All right. So just for the sake of this, with me is NASA, who is my liaison to, I think, all OFCRA events ever since we started this up, so.
I'm the vice president now, Christ. It's been here for a while.
You're also the only one in the green 4 slot, which I saw was called admin, so you'll just be making sure nothing weird's happening.
I am to stop Rambo at all costs. In fact, I should turn off my T-farts. Good idea.
I did just before I started because I heard the beep beep. That's how I knew we were starting. Beep beep. Oh, okay. I gotta get off of my conference call. We're gonna kick this up.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
All right. So is it still gonna be a 90-minute round?
Yes, it is a 90-minute mission, an 8-minute warm-up, and obviously, as per usual with OFCRA, it is a one-life scenario.
Mm-hmm.
No respawn on vehicles, none of that. First-person lock.
All right. So we have 154 on, and you still have the supremacy bonus at 5 people.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we'll see how that. Oh, dude, this is gonna be a very interesting mission. I'm very curious to see how this works.
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I'm gonna be super surprised if we get out of safe start and it's still playable. You know, like the desync doesn't just murder the server outright.
I'd be curious as well.
I'm hoping it's not that way, but I wanna see it work. I really want to see it work, because if it does, then more stuff in the future. Yeah.
Yeah. Our server isn't that bad. We've had issues in the past with DDoSing, and that's really killed us momentum-wise. Last week, we had our second largest mission until today ever, which was 127 people, and our server had 80 to 100 FPS at all times.
Yeah, it was great.
So we're really confident that we can hack this. And we'll very much soon see if we can or not. Yeah, I'm confident in the server, but not optimally so.
Yeah, right.
I hope it works.
I getcha. Now, FPS-wise, I don't mean to be a bit of a dick here when I say this, but we're going from Anaze to Roche. Roche is a lot more frame-intensive.
True.
But I'm sure we'll at least get 30, because there's no Zeus clients, right? You're not gonna have a Zeus client in admin, right?
Oh no, yeah, I'm in Rectifactor Zeus client of that.
Yep.
So probably tank it for sure. But
yeah, because Zeus clients always tank frames, like down to like 10 to 20, especially on the higher numbers. So
yeah, we'll definitely see how it works out. I think it's as per usual with TVTs, right? Where, so we get the point everything's going, so it gets a bit choppy at times, and then like 20 people die in some kind of massacre, and then everything's fine.
And then everything's fine.
Like that. Great.
So who do you think's gonna mass cast first, OFCRA or BIA?
Oh, hello.
Sorry. Yeah, we do need like a few more minutes. Okay.
That's fine. I will let Marshall know.
That's someone from BIA.
Thank you very much. Frankie said like 4 to 5 minutes, because it's extensive planning. My head is blown.
That is completely fine.
To this.
Completely understandable.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
All right. BIA has applied for an extension on Safe Start, or I guess on map technically.
Yeah. That is completely reasonable. It's when we get in game, it will be locked 8 minutes, so we shall see how it goes.
I mean, it's understandable for not just OFCRA, but for them too. I mean, both are multilingual groups with that many people, so to coordinate all that is, I think
so.
You've already said it's quite the pain.
Yeah, no, literally, it really is. I can't stress enough what I believe to be the most dominant factor here, which is the at-home advantage. obviously, I think you've seen OFCRA went to other international communities where they do similar things, not
Right.
quite the same, but similar. And the home field advantage of knowing how you play, what you do, it really is like dominant, hugely so, in this kind of stuff. So we'll see how it works.
I do remember when, oh dear, there goes my mic. Really? Now it decides? Oh, great. I'm gonna pray to God that was a temporary thing. Okay, come on, buddy. Please, for the love of God, don't crap out on me today. Not right now. Man, this is a newer mic, too. Do I sound okay, NASA?
Yeah, you sound completely fine.
Okay. Because I know in the recording, sometimes when it does that, it just completely craps out. So let's hope it's not a total crapshoot, because I do kind of want to keep this recording going. But otherwise, I remember with FNF and OFCRA, when it was hosted in OFCRA, OFCRA won their match. When it was hosted in FNF, FNF won the match. So it
Very
turned
true.
into a bit of a stalemate, but I do agree with...
I would make the point. Our first match against the FNF on their server was very, very close. It was a razor thin endeavor. But yeah, no, honestly, it's very true. The way they play the game was very, very different to how we did it, and so we just didn't expect it.
And that's understandable because it's, two different types of groups playing. So, home field advantage, as you were saying, did really favor either side in that case. But has BIA played in OFCRA before?
No, but we went to their events and
Gotcha.
we played with them.
Gotcha.
However, it's not that we've seen this reality and we've done nothing to try and help the BIA. In fact, the aim of this is not just to have a us versus them, haha, we won or we lost or whatever, just kind of like a we got them moment. We want to encourage a really good game here. So what we did was,
I agree.
We told the BIA, here are the teams, pick a side you like, either Soviets or NATO, and whatever team you like, because this originally was going to be a meet in the middle. They would spawn, NATO would spawn somewhere in the north near Schwermitz, north of Roche, and it would be a race to the middle.
Right.
But we had to think about this a bit more, and we're like, no, it's better to have them defend, seeing as we know how we play, we know how off games work. It's better that way. So we put them as defense on Roche. It's not marked here, but
real quick, PHK knows to extend it.
This is the extension.
Okay, gotcha. Continue.
Yeah, so they all spawn at Roche. So they're in defense. They've been given the same assets as Redfall, so this should go some way towards counteracting the at-home field advantage, as we'll call it.
All right.
We hope, at least, to so.
Yeah, I get you. No, so having them start a little more on the defensive side, I agree with that. Make it a little harder for OFCRA to do it, but it's to help counteract that home field advantage. But I mean, we'll also see what the asset divide is and whatnot. But let me also talk about the objectives real quick. So, common objectives, just pulling up the list here. Whoever has control of Eastern Roche by the hour mark out of the hour and a half, which I believe is the current highlighted purple zone.
It is the current highlighted purple zone, yes.
They gain 4 points, and then the other zone, which is currently darkened out, West Roche, is also worth 4 points, and that's basically held by the end of the game, which is the next 30 minutes on top of that.
Yeah.
Blue 4 objectives, so what OFCRA needs to... Excuse me, what BIA's NATO, right?
Yes, BIA NATO.
Yes. So what BIA needs to do as Blue 4 is kill all the Soviet jets and their helicopters, link all relay stations, and then the 5-man supremacy bonus. I think you're crazy for keeping it at 5 people for 154 dudes.
Yeah, I don't think you're... Well, we'll see how it works out.
Right.
Definitely see how it works out. For the killing all the supremacy of NATO aircraft, or Soviet in their case, it is not just 1 point for each. You have to kill all 3
to get the full
those
points.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's a bit of a trickier task, considering that although there are quite a lot of manpads in this mission, they aren't the best in the world.
Right.
In fact, after some testing with the manpads against the jets are also not very good either.
Right.
But the manpads somehow are even worse. I was impressed by how bad the manpads were. The Stinger, to its credit, is at least fast, but it's very easy to dodge.
I mean, I know the Igla is just a piece of shit, but...
Truly.
So, what are these planes? I'm seeing the USAF ones. The Op-4 ones look like some sort of MiG, but...
Yes, so these are both the same plane. These are these 3CB factions, MD 454 Mr. Jet. They have had some alterations to them, however, to make them usable in one life PvP. Jets obviously been very scary, high explosives, ammunition, numerous ways jets can be very scary to people, and in one life PvP, it doesn't really have a place, in my opinion. So some things had to be done. So the first step, jets are too fast. If they're too fast, the people on the ground can't really appreciate the fact that jets are even in the mission.
Yes.
So there's no point in them existing. So the first problem was to slow them down.
Okay. How'd you accomplish that?
We did some wacky script on the pilots, and the jets are maxed out at 450 kilometers an hour.
All right.
So this has turned them basically into World War II fighters.
All right.
The next issue was high explosive ammunition and high fire rate cannons are too powerful. They'll go across the sky, they'll annihilate the vehicles, and there'll be very little repercussions on their end for doing so. The solution to this was to change the cannon into the 30mm Radon cannon from the vanilla game.
So you just re-scripted the weaponry with remove turret and add turret magazine and stuff like that.
Exactly. It is
Gotcha.
a slow-firing weapon. It is not particularly damaging towards infantry because of its slow fire rate. It is purely AP rounds. The biggest threat the jets can deal with is these armored vehicles. That's where their most damage will be done. Outside of that, the jets are very much a suppression and or recon unit.
Understandable.
Thus making them playable, in my opinion, in PvP. Single-mindedly.
I mean, I can't remember the last time I saw jets in PvP, especially one life event. So the fact they're even here at all is great. But you mentioned the cannon. Do they have any other like pylon weaponry?
Nope, it is just the cannon. It is just the cannon, and that's 120 rounds in a very slow-firing cannon.
So it's all about being precise. All right, let's go ahead.
Very much so.
I'm going to start by looking at the southern OPFOR position. So I see an MI8. It appears to just be the transport model. So that's just an MT. We have, what is that, 3 T55s? Or are those T80s? T72s. So yeah, the A's without the armor on the sides.
Yes, very, very early. So early Cold War is the whole vibe for this mission.
I do see someone with, is that a Cormet tube on their back?
That is a corner tube on
Oh
their
my
back.
gosh.
That is potentially the best asset Red 4 has in the enemy tanks.
But let's see, we see some M76s, some AKs. So yeah, early Soviet era, and then 3 MTLBs for support fire in this group. Seen some Iglis as well. Some RPG 26s, PKMs, SA 58s. No scopes on their weaponry. I'd imagine, do the M76s have PSOs for marksman rifles, or are they also iron sighted?
No, M76 is an iron sight recon class on the Yugoslav section.
Gotcha.
The squads in the south here that we're looking at are the Czechoslovaks, their squad philosophy was built around high rate of fire weapons and MGs to deal with infantry. The Yugoslavs, who are designed around the long range, low fire rate kind of anti-tank team.
Right.
And just tankers who are armed with a pistol. I can tell you that the server currently has an FPS of 104.
It's brilliant. And I'm not seeing any desync, which is remarkable, even though we're having people actively connecting and reconnecting.
And I am Zeus. This is quite incredible.
So you do have a Zeus client.
Yeah.
And we're getting all of this.
Yeah.
Bro, dude, this is amazing.
Surprised.
All right.
Start time 3 minutes. Jeesh. All right.
I'm gonna go to the other.
To the jets, probably.
Yeah.
The Soviet jets are on lock for 8 minutes. This is to prevent them from spawn killing.
Same with the Blue 4 jets, I'd imagine.
Same with the Blue 4 jets,
Yep.
but not with the helicopters. The helicopters are unarmed. If they want to pull off cheeky maneuvers, such as Blue 4 and Red 4 are able to, it's borderline encouraged.
All right, gonna look at the other OPFOR group. So this appears to be the Soviet group, where I am seeing some Scope Dragunov sniper rifles, some SKSs.
Yes. Now, 3CB didn't update. I believe it was yesterday, and I immediately jumped on that. There was another scenario in my mind where I saw an East German squad, and I didn't want to give them an SKS. That was alien. It's so beautiful.
All right,
on this spawn, we have the Soviets, who are philosophy around them is anti-tank. They have an RPG with a lot of rounds. I think we're talking maybe 6 or 7 rounds in that RPG between them and the AT assist. And also is the East Germans. The East Germans, in my opinion, have the best individual weapons of Redfall due to their having a very low recoil AK-47 and a Dragunov, which is one of the only scopes in the entire game.
The PSO1, they also have an SPG-9 car down here. No, they have 2 SPG-9 cars down here. All right. Seeing RPKs as well. RPG, is that an 18 or a 26? I think that's a 26. 18 should be darker. Yeah, the SKSs too. That's a nice touch because yes, 3CV did update the other day.
Which, it was such a lovely update as well.
It was too. It added quite a good chunk of stuff. Oh man, people in my community immediately started bitching about it though, because some of like the internal sites were off, and I literally went, guys, it's a chieftain. Your arguments are invalid.
It's such. It was. I can't stress how good enough to.
Just happy enough to have the chieftain.
The Sky Train. It's such a good update. I'm so happy. 3CV Factions remains to be one of the premier mods. 1 minute until start. Whew.
All right, looking over at the blue 4 groups, I'm going to start with the leftmost one. The westernmost one. This appears to be, I see trench guns.
Yes, this is the fast attack. This is the fast units of blue 4.
249s.
And the Belgians and the Dutch.
Scoped
the Dutch
mods
are equivalent to the Yugoslavs. They have the Super Dragoon, which is a single shot ATGM, and they get 2 of them because they have two squads, 1 each. Very strong weapon if placed in the right area. The Belgians are equivalent to the Czech squads, in which they have a very nice LMG, and they also have a Gustav, which insanely powerful in this game. And that's their fast squads. In the center, we have the British. The British are the special forces, as it were, for the Blue 4. A team entirely focused around killing infantry. They have 2 marksmen and they have a lot of SMGs. At range, they've got the marksmen, and close they've got SMGs. Super powerful, super powerful.
Yep, I see that on the scoped FALs there.
Yeah,
which I guess are in place for L1A1s technically, right?
Yeah, they are the L1A1s. In fact, a lot of people have got other ones. We start now as we see the the West Germans taking off and their tanks taking off.
3 Shermans and 3, no, those aren't Shermans. Those are M68-1s or A3s?
A1s.
A1s. But it's got that little top commander turret, and then you got 3 240 Bravo M113s.
Those are M250 cals, but because the regular M2 has a reload function, a re-arm function for the tanks, we couldn't have that because that would cause so many issues.
Right.
Such as giving the tanks their HE ammo back and such, which was that wasn't workable.
Yep. All right, so BIA is going to be able to maintain control of Roche for the moment. There are 3 relay stations. If you capture all 3, you get the points. I assume there's no percentages.
No, it is purely Connect 4 when you were playing as a child, but only 3. The Warsaw starts red, Pirate starts independent, and Ginto starts blue. Now, I'm curious to note that they're not going for an offensive helicopter drop with the BIA. They're going for a defensive NATO reload station drop.
It could be that, or they could still turn south to land at the Pirate radio spot, but we are seeing the Op4 helicopter kind of mirroring the Blue 4 helicopter's positioning.
I was privy to some of the planning that went into the Red 4's idea. I was not giving anything away or trying to help them out or anything. But I will say that they did the timings for it, and they could get to the Warsaw Pact relay station before, or at least very, very close to Red 4. So it's interesting they went for the defensive option instead.
Yep.
It leads me to believe that helicopter was another task in mind.
All right, so that force is landing at the northern relay station there. Still having some people connecting and reconnecting, which I think I saw a big spike of it happening, and I did notice there's a little bit of server desync going on, but I think it's going to even out now because that is mostly done. We'll probably see an occasional spike here and there as we see people connect and reconnect, especially while the combat's going on. But I mean, again, it's been smooth for 154 people. This is nice. I'm
genuinely so happy. I was so worried. I was shit bricks the entire week, if I'm being honest with you. But, now, here's an observation which we actually, people in OFCRA did kind of call. So we've been to a few BIA events, and we know when they defend cities, they defend en masse.
Yeah.
Seriously en masse. Way more than OFCRA does. If OFCRA has any, consistency when it comes to being in defense, they are very aggressive defenders. They push out very far. They leave their lines very thin. it seems to be quite the opposite here. I'm seeing at least 3 squads being sectioned in an area
Yeah,
about
BIA.
1.5 kilometers.
I remember playing with them 2 years ago. They are very heavy in their tiered defenses, especially. But they're also very reactive. As long as they can get communication established, they will push some defensive groups that are not being engaged to then flank any attacking forces that come in. They can get a little aggressive, but otherwise they just usually just make a lot of defensive battle lines and then fold into those battle lines. Again, the communication is a slight issue, and we'll probably see that be a possible issue in this operation, but that's more so just a language barrier between players. And I think OFCRA would sometimes have some of those issues as well, because, you know, we've got French.
I can tell you right now that we most definitely will have that issue this game.
Yeah,
There
so
are
both
2
sides are going to have it.
separate
That's pretty cool, though.
channels, a French channel and an English channel for OFCRA.
See, that makes sense, because there's like 4 different factions on each side, so all 4 of those factions are going to speak different languages, so yes, there will be language barriers, and, you know, people aren't going to be as effective. There's the full render distance going in.
Yep, so a little bit of lag there, but that is everyone back. Yes, sir.
We are having issues, at least a few of my members, including myself. I crashed right at the beginning.
Yep.
Right now I'm stuck on the loading screen of Stratus, and it's not letting me progress.
All I can say is that we just went to full render distance, so I think you just wait a second and then try and get back in. I'm not too sure I really say it. Just try and get back in. You should be able to
so that's
jump
one
back
of the
into a slot
BIA members,
yeah,
I think, handling everything.
Right. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Good luck.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm quite curious.
It sounded like he got stuck on an infinite loading screen, but at the same time, I mean, if the server is handling 154 players, like the only communities I know of that have gone past, I want to say, the 140 mark are like, you know, those crazy Russian modded servers with like 200 people playing PvP, and they're like unicorns in terms of we don't know if they actually exist or not, but my god, like I'd imagine there's probably some connectivity stuff going on. It's just gonna take people a hot second to actually get in, but
I very much can believe it.
So Blue 4, they're not gonna go for the pirate radio relay. Op 4, meanwhile, we see their MI8 starting to approach the northern side to potentially attack the NATO relay. But in terms of the Blue 4 tanks, we've got one in the center of town, one on the far right flank to cover the open areas to the southeast of Roche, and then one appears to be around the relay station, though it's in a forest. I don't always recommend tanks are in forested environments because it really does hamper their lines of sight, but usually the forest and Roche are very flat, so it's easier to acquire targets, but if they're super dense like this one I'm previewing right now, then it definitely will hamper that tank's ability to engage. They just need to find a good firing line for it, and then have some infantry to escort it, and they should be fine, but should be in the keyword. We've got the MI8 landing. Someone jumped out a little too early and got knocked out, which I find funny. Did they ejected from the helicopter?
It does seem that way. That is an empty helicopter.
So I think, Kerrigan was the pilot and somehow ejected. I guess he landed too hard because sometimes vehicles will auto-eject you if the vehicle takes a chunk of damage. I know a few cup vehicles do that, so I think, I think there was an accidental bump there.
Interesting.
It's a weird one.
I've seen a helicopter eject after a successful landing. That's
Oh, he's back up now, so I think he's gonna go run over to the chopper, probably bandage, and then take it off. But that's pretty funny in my opinion. Boop.
I think we are a minute out now from jets taking off. I think that'll be the big, the one I'm genuinely super looking forward to, because I don't know how powerful these things are going to be. I can't tell. I'm a bit scared.
I'm going to be honest with you. They're either going to be incredibly OP and murder everything, or they're going to completely fall flat on their face.
I hope they're useless. I hope to God they're useless.
I'm hoping we get a cool dogfight, and we see just one guy like take out both the other planes, and then something stupid happens. That's what I hope for, is some kick-ass stuff followed by some comedy.
No, I definitely hope for that as well.
All right.
Interesting. I believe no teams went for the pirate reload station. I
Yeah,
think they both
neither.
convinced each other that the other one would go for it, and then neither one went for it.
As you say that, though, we do have an MTLB starting to move north. That one could move to the pirate radio relay there. There's the vehicles getting unlocked for the planes. I'm going to watch the southern ones here. All right. Highway to the danger zone time. Oh, beautiful. All right, Op 4 is away.
Blue 4 appears to have some issues or not realize that the planes are good.
That's
very worrying.
That's
very
not
worrying.
good. That's very not good.
That is very not good.
You want to tell him, or?
I'm not too sure how. I think I might put an AI down and...
Yeah, Blue 4 AI down and let him know, because otherwise I think Op 4 might... Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, come on, guys. Put 2 and 2 together. Nah, so you gotta also remember they're in TFAR, so maybe use... I don't know if direct chat will work. Maybe you, like, point at the plane. Oh, okay, he went to TFAR. All right, they know. All right, good. Good, good, good. Oh, my gosh. They will not get spawn camped. This is good. All right. And there he goes. He went out and deleted it. All right. This is why Zeus is useful.
Right there.
Excellent.
That could have been so bad.
That could have been very bad. And they're off. I'm a little worried at their angle, but I think one's bleeding speed, so the other can continue. All right, we're good. We're good. We're good. All right, so Op 4 appears to be holding their jets south. Blue 4, we'll see what they decide to do with their jets. I think both helicopters, they've landed on the northern side and are just relaxing at the moment, I guess waiting for additional tasking.
Yeah. Now, would I be correct in assuming that Blue 4 has reinforced their NATO station with a second squad?
Yes, they did bring one up. That was a crew of, I believe, a 113 that came up with the tank.
Be the Germans, it seems.
And they, yeah, they're holding the tank in the forest, so we'll see what they do with that. Op 4, meanwhile, the MTLB, I think, swung north. Yep, they're at .73 at 157.710. Instead, they're going to be focusing on Roche, so this is just going to be a massive urban fight. Meanwhile, we have one tank that stopped in the town of Thielendorf, and I think is overwatching from this large open area. There is a bit of a hill in the way, so it can't look all the way to the town. And I think that's saving them between... What'd you say?
The Mi-8 potentially in the line of 2 jets?
It could be. Yep, they are. It is landed. It cut its engine. We'll see what happens. Jets are flying over you, actually.
Oh god, please leave me alone.
They're going to get you.
I should teleport myself away, to be fair. I didn't.
Yeah, maybe like in a building or something so you don't get ground bombed. But Op 4, they're also swinging the other tank and a few other forces on the northern side. We could see OFCRA try to do a pincer maneuver. But since Blue 4's heavily reinforced all sides of this AO, it's going to be tough. I could see Op 4 getting into West Roche and then pushing into East from there because that has a lot of heavy cover. But if they're checking areas and they're not seeing Blue 4's attacking, they have to assume that Blue 4's fortified their position on all fronts. So they're going to have to be very cautious on the reconnaissance here.
So I will divulge some information, which I think will lead to making the actions of Redfall make a bit more sense. The team which is got the furthest most on the east side, furthest north on the east side, that team is meant to act as a distraction to draw people further east, or further west rather, of Roche. While the main assault from, as it's very easily seen, the main assault from Red 4 is going to hit from the east side. So I'm curious, because right now there is nobody on Western Roche. That is a dead zone. There is nobody there at all. I'm curious if when shooting starts, they'll get kind of baited, I suppose, to go there, or if this will change.
That could happen.
We see their jets flying over their friendlies.
Yep.
Quite lovely sight, actually.
And they're diving now, I think, to go over Roche here.
Now, I will say one thing, and one of my lads is the jet pilot for our team, and he expressed his concern numerous times over the past week. Both jets being the exact same jet with just a skin change.
PID issue.
Yes. I think there's a very real chance that when jets get taken down, they're taken down by their friendly forces. Because apart from being told, like, I'm the one behind, or so much other kind of tangential information, there's some real...
I kind of like that, though, because it forces people with the man pads on the ground to make a split-second decision of, okay, I have the lock, am I sure it's not friendly? If it's friendly, I might have just screwed the entire side. If it's not, I might have just gotten a great achievement for the side, you know? That's actually really mean, Ness. Because you're really putting a lot of power in the decision-making and bloodlust of players. I mean, you got Parthius over here. He's, like, looking up in the sky. I think he saw the jets for a second.
Yeah, I think, yeah. I mean, it really is quite... it could be horrible or it could be good. I mean, who knows? There's really nothing else to it.
Blue 4 jets starting to enter OP4 airspace here.
Oh, I think we may see a dogfight.
We're going to see a dogfight. Yes!
It's actually going to happen. We're going to see
PvP
a
dogfight.
PvP.
Blue 4 jets are turning, but the OP4 jet might see him.
If Baku sees it, this would
Baku's turning.
Baku sees.
Yes!
Oh, does he? I'm not too sure if he does.
Oh, please tell me he saw him. Come on.
He did. Or is it two ships in the night?
He might have lost them, though. Is their render distance higher?
Yes. No. Both render distance are 2.5 kilometers. Very small render distance to benefit you.
He might have lost them because now I see him doing a dive cut here to look. But yeah, no, he's pulling back. Oh, what a tease.
Now, interestingly, OFCRA, the team on the Warsaw relay station, have an anti-aircraft piece. They have an Igla.
Yeah.
But I would, if I was a guessing man, say that the commander, Lolo, has said that everything south near the relay station is occupied by friendly jets.
Yeah.
And so when they see such jets going above them, they're like, they won't pay any attention. They'll be like, oh, it's fine. It's just one of ours.
I don't even see anyone looking in that direction. Everyone's too busy either digging trenches or looking at their sector. And now we've got Blue 4 jets going over the OP4 position in the center. But again, I don't think anyone's going to be bothered to look up. Oh. I'm gonna fanboy for a second. This is pretty fucking cool. All right, like just the sheer amount of people down, the fact that we have a near like full tank platoon on either side, a freaking air attachment, some transport helicopters. Like there's just so much craziness that can happen here.
Yeah, I mean, I was really hoping when I made this mission that it would be like this, and well, I say it like this. It not to work functionally and no one to die immediately to like some kind of road banding. That's good. I take that.
Yep.
We have got open vehicles going across near Blue Air.
A little bit of a desync spike here and there, but
that is a scary concept if you are the people on the ground. Blue Air may not be the strongest, or Air Force in general may not be the strongest, but 30mm will tear up MTLBs like it's no tomorrow.
The question is, did the jets spot the vehicles? Because most of them were in the forest.
If I was to hazard a guess which team will have first contact, I believe Raska's OFCRA team in the furthest north of Red, which are Red 4, will walk onto the NATO relay station and very suddenly realise they're very much outnumbered and very much outgunned. All right, it's time for me to do some warning of rules. Murdoch and Biff XD are very much against our Rambo rules, so let's give them a warning.
Because they're, I think, out right here doing reconnaissance. Because in OFCRA, you're supposed to keep the squad relatively together. And right now, everyone else seems to be doing that quite well. The only groups that are separate are the command teams. But they're very strict about that stuff. Now, of course, you're going to see some rule breaks by the community that's coming into play, you know, because it takes a while to learn everything. And, you know, if you play in multiple different PvP communities, in my opinion, it is tough to keep track of everything. Hell, I know people in PvE communities have enough trouble remembering which communities that they are allowed to fire an index on and which ones they aren't. We see that all the time in TSB.
Been warned for their Rambo teams.
Yeah, you see them both pulling back.
Yeah, that's for the best. It seems other than that, they're not. BIA are doing quite well, I think. Which is fair. I mean, I don't even blame these people who are, because when you go to a new planet, it's hard to adapt.
Yep. No, that's exactly what I was telling everyone here. It's hard to go through multiple different communities, PvE or PvP, and just remember every single rule for every single group.
Yep.
So. And they are reacting to it quick enough, so.
Yep, no, that's true.
Now, I'm a little worried about this one Blue 4 tank to the far east, just south of the 493 road marker, because they have an entire infantry squad coming up to their right.
Yeah, that is... yeah, that should be interesting.
And on point, they have Bartek there with an RPG. Now, that crew is turned out, and if the... oh, they're not anymore, but if they shut their engine off, they'll be able to hear the MTLB coming. The MTLB just got its engine, I think, realizing that. What is your hand? The MTLB's commander's got something a little weird going on with his hand there. Do you see that?
I do indeed. I'm aware that you can drive an MTLB while turned out with both hands on the top of the
You drive with your feet.
You drive with your feet. That's the level of athleticism in the Soviet army, which I can nothing but respect. Nothing but respect.
That small Blue 4 team has heard the group coming in, because you see them looking. You got the jets now flying overhead here. So I think Blue 4 starting to scramble some stuff, which shows that they are doing some communication here. Well, we see the Op4 jets coming in from the south. I'm trying to see how high they are. We could see another potential dogfight here. Oh, now we got Op4 running in the open field. They're going to come in right next to this tank. I don't think the tank's looking in the direction it needs to, though, to cover itself.
Ooh, if they lost a tank as their first blood, that would be such a devastating blow.
Op4 jets going over now. Blue 4 jets are pulling to the left. Are we going to have a dogfight? Op4 jets are...
Op4, say Blue 4. 19th.
I think the jets are going. They're going. You're hearing some AA shots go in, but they're missing. First one gets off. We're hearing the Op4 jets trying to fire at the Blue 4 jets here. Looking back to the south, just real quick on the ground. Bartek has his RPG trained on the tank. He just fired and hit the tank. Tank is smoking. Engine's gonna definitely be dead. Meanwhile, looking back at the dogfight here. The Op4 jets, we got one behind a Blue 4, one Blue 4 jet behind an Op4 jet. Now you're having a skirmish of infantry over in that forest. First blood was that tank, as you predicted.
At the expense of potentially their 19th corner team, however.
Yep. So we immediately see Op4 forces OFCRA popping some smokes. They did take a few casualties. I see some bodies down there. Blue 4's little infantry team, I don't think took any casualties. They were just down to 4 guys. And the rest of Op4's group, I think, are camping that tank to see if there's any dismounts. They could be unconscious. From the looks of things, though, I don't see any unconscious symbols on it. I just see a skull for one of the tank groups. But jets, I think they're going to burn all their ammo in this dogfight.
I can certainly see it. They do not have a lot of ammo. You have to remember though, because of the changes made to these jets, they have exactly the same speed, which means the exact same turning radius. So this could realistically last forever.
Yes.
Which is funny, because I'm assuming the troops on the ground can hear this, and this is hilarious.
I've already seen an AA missile go out and get knocked away. But as I'm saying that, towards the north of Roche, we have another engagement going on here. OFCRA trying to push Blue 4's position. Blue 4 holding in a construction complex. OFCRA trying to move up. I see Despo down. Might have a few other guys down here down as well. And we do hear an MTLB coming in on the back. And I do see a Blue 4 tank pushing up north as well. We got some marksman fire for Blue 4 on the far left, trying to outflank OP4 on the side. And that dogfight is still going.
Yep. I'll say it seems that an OFCRA team has pushed into the compound north of Eastern Rush, and I mean, I was privy to the plan, and they were not meant to go alone. They have overextended without the support of most of their heavy elements to the town north of them, including their tank. So they are taking fire from two separate, highly defensible locations, to which they have lost their squad leader, and I believe another man has been conscious. This is going to really deteriorate communication, which I'm assuming, with such a high number of players, is already quite bad.
Oh yeah, especially when most of them speak different languages. Oh, Baku is so close to getting right on the tail of a Blue 4 pilot. He just can't meet the distance because of that speed limit. They are trying. All while you have Alex trying to get on the rear of the other pilot here. I do see the pilots are constantly trying to switch around to change tactics to try to get behind another player here. I also love how OP4, they're around this one tank. They're trying to figure out, looks like they pulled one body out, but the other two are just staying put. Playing dead, essentially, just so OP4 doesn't hit them. Might be able to jump out later and hit him on the rear. So we got this other 113 suppressing that northern group of OP4. Looks like they pulled back to do medical. They got the MTLB covering. But pretty much OP4 has been repulsed on that attack angle. And we're also probably going to start seeing an attack on the NATO relay station. We got an OP4 group over here. They got to be careful, though, because just to the north, there's a tank lane in wait, and that thing could massacre the infantry, specifically with that commander turret.
There's a German squad. There's nothing. They've got an RP-26 over that range that is useless. That they really are. If they get engaged by that tank with no support, the OFCRA team north of them are stood stationary. They're not making a push towards it, and outside of that, there are no other assets to give to you.
Yep. Seen some more shooting by the planes. They are just hopelessly together in this dogfight. We're just seeing a lot of crazy turning here. One of the OP4 pilots also is intentionally stalling himself to try to get behind. We see some more shots from another OP4 plane trying to get on a Blue 4 plane. He's unable to land a hit, though, as two come very close to each other. But I do like seeing the intentional stalling to then try to quickly maneuver around. Blue 4 trying to line up a hit there. Whoa, one OP4 plane goes down. Baku, I don't know what hit him. But that is one OP4 plane down there. I think he definitely got hit and went into a nosedive. I think his engine got shot out by something. Now we got the remaining OP4 plane trying to get behind that remaining Blue 4 plane, but he loses the angle. Other Blue 4 planes now trying to engage. And we still have Blue 4 on the ground, suppressing at where OP4 pulled their forces back to. We do have an OP4 tank coming in as well. And Blue 4, the force that was in front of that OP4 group, the 8th Reconnaissance Battalion, they've actually pulled back north. Tank is still here to cover, but it's looking the complete wrong direction. It's turned around, so OPFOR might have an opportunity to push to that forest and take the fight locally.
Very much so.
All right, Bluck trying to evade right now. He's got some shots landing around him. Now I think he's intentionally letting the fighters try to plink at him so he can evade and make them drain their ammo. He does a quick cut turn there, but Blue Force staying right on him.
Now, what Block should do in this scenario is he can't defeat these two fighters by themselves.
Yes.
It's such an issue. You have to bait over friendly forces who have access to
Iglas and stuff. But does he have that communication ability, or is he just going to pull them out of this AO? More shots going out.
I think he actually is making the play directly. I think the Pharaoh team, Ethan Price, near the tank, have access to stingers. If he's informed them that he's coming over, then they can do something about this. He should ideally dive to give them the most time.
Yeah, we got Kratz with an Igla here.
He's been aimed. He's aimed at the right one as well. It is in fact an enemy.
I think he lost the lock.
Oh, no Lord. That may have been Block saving grace. He sacrificed a lot of speed to do that maneuver.
Odin's trying to line up another shot. It's still short. Bluck once again going evasive as we're seeing some OPFOR forces engaging Blue 4 at that previous position where the tank was cooked off. Looks like they potentially pulled out the other Blue 4 bodies and took them out. I see 3 dead Blue 4 tankers around that one tank. So OPFOR is down a plane, Blue 4 is down a tank. And I do see another tank that's pushed up. It's actually firing its coax at that Blue 4 garrison that was on the construction building. I do see bodies around too. And now Blue 4 has no choice but to pop some smoke grenades here to try to cover itself as they take suppressing fire. Now the MTLB is joining in as well.
They're not doing this for naught. Well, the time they buy the Blue 4 doing this, I can see that there is already one M13 and an armored tank on its way up to relieve them. Although I must say, if they're going to take the fight outside their defensive town, maybe this isn't the best idea. By sacrificing so much for an external strong point, maybe you'll have the manpower left when the time truly comes to fight what will actually get the points from.
We got Baku on the ground here, the punched out pilot. Jets are flying right over him. Looks like the remaining Blue 4 guys in the original fight where they lost the tank, they've loaded up in a Land Rover. They're pulling back into town now, conceding that position. We've got another group of Blue 4 that's pulled up to this tree line. They have an SPG-9 car, but they're mounted up still. Don't know what they're waiting on. And otherwise, we still have that T-72 suppressing the rooftop here. It looks like one of the infantry guys have run back. 2 are still staying up there. Now OPFOR is starting to make a push. Meanwhile, at the NATO relay station, that's northern OPFOR group is pushing in.
Now, it's interesting that the Blue 4 chose to give ground and push, allow themselves to get in further inside the forest in the NATO relay station, as opposed to guard the entrances when they were so close to contact. Obviously, they had no idea of this.
Right.
But it's it is interesting how it 2 ships in the night, as it were. It's 10 more seconds or even a minute more of in that held position, and I believe they probably would have seen him. Yeah, but alas, it wasn't to be. Now, I do wonder, this is quite under the strength OFCRA team we see north of the NATO reload station. This isn't full strength, so I would not fancy their chances, even if they do have a good player. Standout player, by the way, on this team is the squad leader Raska. He has a very, very veteran armor PvP player who's recently rejoined the OFCRA community, and he is very good. But we're curious to see if he's enough to deal with a squad who, if I'm being honest, are potentially better armed with a heavy MG3, better camouflage, certainly, and more numerous.
They're pulling back now.
I wish him the best.
Bluck looks like he's flying back to where Op4 squads are. He's going to try to get another Igla baited out. Let's see if Crap pulls it out. I saw Bluck go on the offensive. He actually tailed someone. Kratz got it out. He shouldn't be by these bushes, though, because he's going to lose lock. He should be more in the open.
He should have unlocked. No, he can't.
He's not going to have the time to lock.
Yeah.
Oh, he gets it!
He got it off. Where'd it go? The missile.
It misses last second. Oh. Block, I mean, he should have seen that, so now he knows to keep Blue 4 here. That made one of their planes pull out.
At what point do Blue 4 just give up the chase? And it's
Yeah.
so clear what Block is doing is this commandments though to that IBC team who just shot the Igla. I mean, how they differentiated what was Block and what was
right?
really not Block? I couldn't do it.
Right. Now where's Kratz? He's pushed in further. He's reloading the Igla. He'll get out here and try to fire again. We'll see. I mean, he has a 66% chance of making the correct call here. I mean, Bluck is in a gambling mood right now.
It's true. Block is a bit of a gambler, I'm curious.
And Kratz locking on to another Blue 4-1. It
Misses again?
misses.
Ooh, I think that may be all the Iglas that squad had access to.
Yep, only 2.
Yeah, I'm not confident now in I think Block has to switch to another team, which can give it himself and Jacob.
He's trying. I'm waiting to see like one of the wingman like start strafing that position, but they might be too preoccupied with the jet. I mean, denying the enemy jets the ability to strafe their opponent is good. But looking over at the northern side, I think Blue 4's noticed that there's an Op4 group here because they're starting to push online to clear this position. And they are guns up, so I feel like they do know something's up here. I don't know what they spotted earlier to give them that play. Or, I mean, they did push south to north, so they might just be sweeping this area.
Yeah, I don't see this ending well for OFCRA. They're not a bad team, but this is just too many men.
Yeah, I mean, we do have some good players. Rizbo, Fleesh, for example, but, I mean, this is a 5v, what, 8 or 9?
Yeah, this...
That's a 5v7.
This could end well. I mean, I'm curious. It all depends about the first contact, right?
Yeah,
So
Rizbo
nobody
might
on the mission.
be in a good spot to flank here if Blue 4 pushes in the open areas. Fleesh isn't in an angle to see this, though, as Blue 4 starts crossing the street. If Op4 were to start engaging right now and catch these guys in the open, I think that would be their best call. Fleesh still watching this open area here. Rizbo, I don't see his angle. Yeah, he's prone looking away. Oh, Fleesh, I think, just spotted Gemin. Uh-oh.
He's right on top of him.
Uh-oh.
He's right on top of him.
Omeawa, Mon Shinderu. All right, that got messy, but he did it. Welcome to PvP, Tunnel Vision Edition. And now the jets are flying over Roche. I think I've covered enough jet PvP here. My boy goes zooming around. Yep, so Blue 4, they know there's hostiles here now. They lost a guy. We see them going guns up in this direction. We could see Rizbo flank around, but it looks like the other 4 Op4 guys are going to book it out of here.
I'm curious at what point the 19th section to their south, their own
pushes
support,
in.
the local, and as we see, the call's been made. The call has been made for them to do it right now.
Yep. I mean, that's a good level of communication. They're trying to distract Blue 4, so maybe this team can come in. Yep.
A tank peeking inside the town. If it looks to the left, the entire 19th squad is dead.
Yeah, but they're going to be lucky because that tank's going to turn north to focus on this 5-man group right away. Rizbo across the street. One of them gets killed. Zatrek gets taken out by, I think, a spray of shots here. That was Kernja just spraying with an MP5, and he somehow made the hit. Good for him. Suppressive fire. Sometimes it catches stuff. Oh, no. Okay, all right. So the Blue 4 jets have broken off their pursuit of Bluck. Bluck has pulled away. I'd imagine both jets have to be low on ammo at this point, if they have any ammo at all after that dogfight.
Yeah, definitely have to be low on ammo at this point in time for both jets.
There's only 120 shots. All right. So, how do I bring up the time, the map? All right, so we have exited early game. Usually how I talk about OFCRA ops is I divide it into 3 sections, other than the, 8-minute save start. You got your first 30 minutes, that's your early game. That's where a lot of maneuvering happens. Sometimes we get into combat in those 30 minutes, but usually for bigger maps like this one, bigger AOs, it's just dedicated to maneuvering. Then you have mid-game where most of your combat happens, and then late game, which is the cleanup, essentially.
Yeah.
So
I don't think that's inaccurate.
We have entered mid-game, but again, OPFOR, I mean, they still have a lot of stuff on various angles here, but they are trying to push in with a large force, but Blue4 have heavily entrenched themselves in the town, because I think they're just going to go for holding Roche entirely for point values, which is why there's so much. So that just means OPFOR is going to have to fight a lot harder, but at the same time, Blue4 is very, very well entrenched here. So it's going to be a tough fight. We're going to have to see a lot of flanking, a lot of maneuvering, and a lot of assets being utilized. But now that the jets are flying over this AO, I mean, the tanks are going to be easy targets if the jets have any ammo left.
I mean, the issue we have now, rather, is although OFCRA may, as a unit, have collectively secured their initial jump to do the northern attack into Eastern Rush, there are so many Blue 4 inside that town.
Yeah.
And they haven't even secured the entirety of that external compound.
Yeah.
There are still a 4-man team who could very much cause issues and who are still in the fight.
Now we're seeing Blue 4 starting to suppress into that tree line because they spotted OPFOR. And I mean that even OPFOR is tied down right now because they're committing a small chunk of their force to defending their relay station, and they're committing a small chunk of their force to attack the NATO relay station, whereas Blue 4 is only committing the force to defend, and then everything else is on town defense right now. So numbers-wise, it's favoring Blue 4 right now.
I could definitely say, and they have the superior location as well. I mean, it's just such a hard one.
Now, Blue 4 is down a tank right now, so that could make the difference, especially since those jets burnt a lot of their ammo in that dogfight. They might not have enough to be effective anymore. And with the tactics I'm seeing, OFCRA, I'm going to start calling them that instead of OFCRA. I like how you say it. You're the official one. So, all right, OFCRA. I love it. Switching to that. They might try to do a sandwich on that Blue 4 group that engaged that 4-man team running north, but that team might be cut off now because you got that tank that's pushed up and is locking down that side, and we're seeing them stare in the direction that we see OPFOR in. It might spot Rizbo's feet because he's just behind a bush right now. But we'll see if OPFOR here adjusts based off of seeing that tank. But if they push in the open to the left, which we are seeing Blue 4 come down and start firing at. Now that tank's going to suppress. It gets Rizbo an enfilading fire. More suppressive fire being gone as Fleece tries to run through, but he gets taken out by the commander turret. And this OPFOR group is screwed.
They're just so caught in the open.
Yeah. Now you got a freaking garrison force also firing up here, and the remaining 2 OPFOR guys are going to hold still. This might attract the attention of the southern OPFOR group, though, to flank this Blue 4 group here and wipe them. But then they're still going to have to deal with that tank.
Oh, but Ravka's team they were just caught in the open. If there was definitely the position was to take the fight in the forest. Taking it in where they did, it was
my God.
It was a bit of a mistake. Although
Bluck landed at the airfield.
To get more fuel. He went
amazing.
Yeah, that was a solution to get more fuel. Which
very
is
risky.
To know if the other pilots would do the same, or what their situation is.
Drive till you run out of fuel and then just gracefully land. Hearing some tanks firing. That is, I think, Blue 4 tanks firing. Yes. There's a tank fight going on right now.
Oh, where?
Eastern side, we have one of the M60s engaging the T-72. I'm not sure if either side has landed a hit. Both sides appear to have rounds falling short, but none of them are maneuvering. They're both committed.
Oh, I see them. I see. Yeah, Roman.
Oh.
There's going to be an element of team killing happening here for the BIA in a second.
We've got to be careful about that overpressure, but looks like the T-72 is starting to pull a little to the left to, I think they're trying to pull the Blue 4 tank out a little more to get a better firing angle on it because I keep seeing the rounds landing short. I mean, the Blue 4 tank's done a great job of utilizing this fence as a little bit of extra cover here, especially at this angle. Oh, and I think the M60 just got a hit.
they bail out T-32 at the same time?
Roland making a run for it, but that suppressive fire is going short. But, I mean, that's expected because this tank is completely in the open. That Blue 4 tank had some brick fences along the way, and you can see where the fences got knocked over earlier. And where they got hit, we're seeing some shrapnel even going out as I think the friendly tank is hitting stuff. Also, I think the 113 right here was also taking a few shots because it's textured differently. And I saw a little bit of shrapnel fly out. And now that other tank, the Blue 4-1's going to pull back a little bit on the MSR. And now I think they OPFOR might be able to get that OPFOR Vic repaired, but right now it's 2-2 in terms of the tank fight.
Yeah. While this is going on, AGM launched at the SM60. Direct it.
Ouch. It did nothing.
But it is not fucked. They can repair that ATGM.
Yeah, but they can't repair the gunner. He's
No, sadly, Nubas has met his end. Although, I noticed how the M60 hasn't moved. Presumably, if you were hit, you would move from this position. I believe...
They might have their engine out then.
Immobilized, yeah.
I see the engine running, though, and I hear the engine running, so I think they're just committed to this position. They did have... Oh, their driver's dead. That's why.
Oh, that makes sense.
It killed the driver. So the driver was acting as internally spaced armor to prevent the engine from being disabled, NASA. He tanked it with his body.
No, that's good. That's a strategy.
Keeps the tank alive. Yeah, oh, yeah, top tier strats in OFCRA here.
I mean, what can I say? We need to learn these strats. Now, Nubas has reached his end, but the ATGM is still on the table and usable. I'm curious why nobody has got on this thing to try.
I think they're just terrified by the suppression of the tank. Meanwhile, over at the relay station, we have Razka here playing hide and seek with his Blue 4 buddies. Bovin, he's the closest one. He's on fire right now, but he's I think he thinks the OPFOR might have actually crossed that open area and gotten in that tree line. And we still have the OPFOR guys coming up from the south. I'm just a little worried about them because they could be in a good position for the tank to then come around. We just heard that gunshot by Bovin there as Razka then quickly turns around to try to hide under the tree. I just love how he's picked the one spot of this tree where he's not hidden. Like, at all.
Yep. Especially because Bovin's got such a devastating gun.
So I just saw one of the Blue 4 planes do a strafing run. It didn't fire, though, but it was at one of the T-72s. I think it was trying to line up a shot, but then held its fire because it couldn't get the proper angle. But that means we might see a plane come around. Second plane's coming in now. I just heard AT launched. Yes, we have one of the planes strafing the tank. A few hits. But it's they're strafing at an awkward angle because there's also a pillar in the way. They did get a hit on the rear that could have done damage to the engine.
It seems that they are getting a new driver in that M60.
Ah. So that's the Blue 4 Vic. We just heard a missile launch. That was...
anti-aircraft has to be.
Yep, Cizagel, he just dropped it. I think he was trying to get a lock on one of the Blue 4 Vics, but the missile went straight up in the air, which means it didn't get a successful lock. And you got the planes doing some more guessing runs here.
Right
Yep. Someone's turned out. He turns back in.
First contact is seen kicking down.
Woo.
Andy is pushing.
And you got Bluck in the air, though. He's looking around. You might try to stop those planes from strafing. Meanwhile, yep, that OFCRA group engaged the northern group. Looks like KZ got taken out. He took out someone with him, and now OFCRA is trying to clean it up. Where did that Blue 4 tank go? It's going north, and now it's flanking. Suppressing the smoke. Blue 4, they're down to 3 people, but OFCRA is down to only 4 in that, I think, 7-man attack. So, oh, it's because they also have Shay further back here. But yeah, that tank suppressive fire is going to make it a lot harder for Blue 4 to advance and finish the sweep here. Now you got Bluck on the tail of one of the planes.
You have to wonder how much fuel these planes have left on Blue 4.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, Bluck could just continuously harass them until they run out of fuel. But we see the other Blue 4 plane trying to get on the rear of Bluck now. But I think Bluck's predicting this, and he's doing a quick turn. Now, we also have the Huey right underneath.
A spectator to all of us.
He quickly gets out of there, and now he might run to the forest. We have a Blue 4 guy, Burgers, down on the northern side of Roche. He might have gotten picked off by Malgren there. He is up a kill. Now you got more PvP in terms of the jets still flying like right over Roche here. Interestingly enough, the Blue 4 tank on the northern side of the relay station has pushed to the forest and it's going to try to flank from the forested route. And this could pay off. You got Andy kind of stuck right here with the RPK. He's looking in the direction of the Vic. He sees the tree knock over and he proceeds to hit the dirt as the tank now comes out. And Andy somehow got knocked out by a grenade from like 10, 15 meters away from him. Wow. That was luck.
Threat of a no-body armor mission.
And now we're seeing the tank getting some accurate rounds and suppressing Lemur and Wombat here. Wombat, I think, got hit in the legs. He's going to desperately try to crawl away. Oh, those rounds are going right over him. But the tank can't seem to get the range there.
What OFCRA Commander's doing with Farah and the OFCRA teams in the far southwest, it seems that these people have been squandered when not only is West Roche open for the taking, but they also just support their fellow squads in the north.
I think we're starting to see some OPFOR Vic's maneuver to possibly go into Western Roche because we are seeing them start to line up more troops. I see a regular UAZ and a SPG-9 UAZ. I also see Bluck behind one of the Blue 4 planes here. He is firing. Actually burning quite a bit of ammo trying to get that strafe. He just can't make the hit. Yeah, Bluck's being a lot more defensive here. He doesn't want to get caught in a dance of death with one of these planes because he knows if he gets tied down, the other plane might try to engage him. As I say that, two OPFOR guys pushed in. I'm not sure if they got a hit on this 113 or if the team in the forest got it, but that one was already disabled, but now it's flaming out.
That is those OFCRA people in north of Eastern Roche are the only OFCRA people who have made it into the assault, which was meant to have comprised of 3 squads. They've managed to get 3 people. The
remains of the 10th Mortar Rifle Regiment. They had 4 people. I assume more, but some left. And now they're down to 2, just trying to continue their orders here.
Golly.
Is one of... Okay, no, they're not. So both Blue 4 planes have broken off in completely separate directions here. You got one going far north, one going far south. But yeah, I gotta see what these two OFCRA players do to try to flank. But Blue 4, I mean, they fortified themselves because they're planning for a northern push. And we already see some other Blue 4 guys reacting by coming up on the western side. They might then try to sweep that force as the closest defensive group of Blue 4 try to suppress these two OPFOR guys.
Yeah, this is such a... Wait, I'm seeing it burning... Oh, yeah, they went to 113.
That's the 113.
Yeah.
Also, Blue 4, they sent 4 guys around, I think because they got reported, they reported the tank being in this area. If you look north of Roche, they might have sweeped around to try to use that dragon to take it out.
But survivors from the northern compound, they've managed to live, and to be fair to them, done an excellent flanking maneuver. Depends what they can pull off with it. Because it's not like that is an undefenseless area. Here. That is the FJB there, protecting, going back to their vehicles, I think.
Real quick, we also have an OPFOR group going for the pirate radio relay station, but it's not going to be shit if they can't get the NATO one. Right? But I think Blue 4's plan since the beginning has been to hold Roche and just hold the NATO relay station to deny the 4 points from the relay stations for OPFOR, and then just get the 8 points for controlling one side of Roche and then the other.
Yeah,
But
I'm not too sure what the. I think this kind of both teams expecting a stalemate. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't expect it for OFCRA of all teams to be the ones to do this kind of play. Usually, blindly aggressive. It seems Block's actually. I say that Block's going back for another jettison, another load of fuel. I think he needs his second load.
I don't think he's going for it. I think he's checking just to see if they're landing there to then strafe them. Because the easiest targets are strafed birds, so by landing early and refueling, he can now wait out the blue 4 planes for when they need to refuel. Do you know the time it takes for them to run out of fuel?
No, I knew they would need to refuel if they want to stay up for the entire mission, but how long it is, I'm not too sure.
Oh, we got the freaking M60 pushing up on the western side. Now it's pulling back. Don't know why. I think it spotted one of those OPFOR tanks, but it's being strafed. Heavy hits on it, but it tanks it for the most part. Now you got someone turned out on the gun. If Blue 4 do another strafe on it, which I think they're trying to line up with the other plane at the moment. Nope, he goes over.
And I think you go onto the pirate radio station, you can hear one sound and one sound only.
What?
That is the sound of an entire team entrenching themselves when they have not. They've taken 2 objectives, but not enough to win the mission. Win that objective, you have to push. I don't understand what the play is here.
I think they're just expecting Blue 4 to come out and take it, not realizing that Blue 4 doesn't need to do that.
I think if you throw 2 squads against Blue 4 and they've repulsed both of them, Blue 4 may consider that they are the ones, in fact, under attack and should not be going on the offensive. I feel like this call should have been made by OFCRA HQ.
I mean, communication might just be down, or there might just be a language barrier. I'm going to be honest, though. I expected BIA to break first in that regard. But because BIA is playing heavily defensive, and they haven't really taken a lot of casualties. I mean, comparing the skull counts, both sides have taken casualties. Don't get me wrong. But it looks like OFCRA's taken slightly more. I'm seeing more groups with skulls in them compared to Blue 4.
Oh, yeah.
So
Definitely.
only by like 1 or 2 groups, granted. But with that, and since OFCRA is the attacking faction on OPFOR right now, Blue 4 has to play more defensive. It's just
to see a lack of troops. Look at the north of the eastern road. I believe FJB are doing
broke
a
both their
Hail
wheels.
Mary towards the town with their vehicles. The issue is, in that compound with them, be it far a bit back from them, is a 4-man group of Blue 4. This could end horribly.
look at Dexvo on south of Western Road. He's the last guy in his unit here. And honestly, I see them all. They're dead in an open field to his right. Good God. Oh, plane is strafing.
A already crashed vehicle.
Yeah, the SPG-9 car hit a rock and broke its wheels.
That is quite a huge vehicle to lose to just a simple
Yeah.
block. It ain't looking great. It ain't looking great.
All right, the 2 infantry are pushing around in the barn. Blue 4 has stayed, is keeping them pinned. I do see by Eris and Lord, they do have a lot of bandages near next to them. So one of them got shot up a bit. But I feel like I also see a lot of blood around here, so OPFOR might have thrown some well-placed grenades. I see some morphine being utilized in the buildings as well, but OPFOR desperately trying to push their forces in. We're also seeing that chunk of force over on the western side pushing in. But it's being slow, and we're seeing tank rounds being fired into the buildings. I think they're mis-PIDing infantry in those buildings, or they're firing at the 113, not realizing that it's been abandoned. I got some rifle fire going out on the OPFOR guys in the tree line.
Yep.
It's going to force them to pull back. I feel like if OPFOR just committed more forces on the flanks of the Blue 4 elements, because they haven't really been doing much recon on the other side of Roche. They've been too busy putting forces in a bunch of different spots, and they've been losing the skirmishing sides of things with all the small groups versus small groups.
No, I definitely agree. I definitely agree. I'm still amazed that WD made it into that northern, made it into their push. Out of their 3-man team, it seems only 2 are remaining.
Yep.
But still props to them for even getting that far.
Now I gotta wonder what this blue 4-4-man team with that dragon's gonna do, if they're gonna continue to push south and try to flank the rear of that tank. But as I say that tank just took a round from the 4th Panzer. Second round, I think they just lost a track.
Yeah, I think so too.
3rd hit, yeah, that tank's done.
Oh, they got a shot off there.
Did it hit?
I don't think so.
Yeah, they're blindly firing, but that's making the other tank back off.
They can do repairs on their tanks, but this will be an open repair.
Ooh, the tank got someone with the coax that was running in the open.
Oh, good.
And I just heard a distant explosion somewhere. And air assets are still strafing that SPG-9 car. Just to make sure it's down. I don't see a damage texture on it, though, so... See, what bugs me is the OFCRA group to the west is still holding here in the tree line as if waiting for the go order. I just feel like OFCRA is not too well coordinated tonight.
No, it definitely seems that way. It definitely seems that way. I mean, I commend the IBC pushing in somewhat, I suppose, to the Western Rush on foot, but this is such a slow advance. The initiative is there to be seized if you only just push forward.
We're about to enter late game, which means Blue 4 is definitely going to get the 4 points for Eastern Roche. Then they're going to just move into Western Roche, and Op4 have failed to push in, so they're not going to be able to catch Blue 4 as they maneuver, so I think we're just going to see a rinse and repeat of those 4 points for the final 30 minutes.
I think so too. I think, FJB doing their kamikaze in northern of Rush.
Yep, they're pushing in right behind friendly forces. They do have a man down in the shotgun seat. And we see the other car trying to go in, but the plane strafing it. Oh, his engine goes out. He's trying to coast, but he gets caught in the open.
He's not dead yet. Here goes my
I think his legs are busted, though, because he quickly goes prone behind it. And now we got Bluck pulling in. He's going to try to leave those jets, but... Oh, man. So Pogo_ he's trying to pop some smokes here. Blue 4 on their defensive line. They're down to 3 people. Tomcat, next to him, he lost 2 guys. That was Lord and Eris. I know Eris is the head honcho of BIA. Lord is one of his top guys as well. So that's a pretty significant loss. I don't think they were leadership, though. That would be Igor and Frankie. There's that going. We just had... Did the tank fire at him? Also, the tank's getting strafed. Rounds knocking Kilo off. I think, yep, that was Blue 4 Jet. Bluck's trying to follow suit.
Yeah, East Rush has been secured by Blue 4. It just seemed that there's been a failure to stop Blue 4 doing strafes on what should be such a key attack.
Yeah.
And to be fair, it can't even be blamed for Bluck. He's fighting a 1 versus 2. It's at equal speeds. That's so hard for him to suppress both lanes.
I think he's done a great run for doing a 1v2 through most of it. He's done everything right. He tried to have friendly AA hit the jets, but Blue 4, I mean, one thing about BIA I do remember is they do have good pilots. They actually have some really, really good pilots, because that's the only thing they play in the ops they run. But they also do a modern op every week and a World War II op every week. So they have the experience of dogfighting World War II planes. Because they also usually have Op4 aggressor slots that take special assets like planes. So by sparring with other players almost every week, you get that experience. And as I say that, another AA missile went up, but immediately went into the ground by losing lock. Because again, as you said in the beginning of this match, the AA is pretty garbo.
Most definitely. But I've been pleasantly surprised. I think the planes... I was very worried when I chose to put planes into this mission. But I think they've been a pleasant enjoyment, pleasant kind of feature for the mission, as opposed to being some kind of oppressive.
They haven't been overpowered. There's been some great dogfighting, and they've been doing they haven't completely taken over the show, but they've done some pretty well surgical strikes in harassing Op4's VIX, which is what you said they were designed to do, is harass the VIX. So I think it was well balanced for this.
Definitely something I would consider doing in a mission like this again. However, speaking of actually something that should be done, the IBC are actually inside Eastern or Western Rush now.
Oh, they finally pushed in. Thank God.
They finally pushed in, which is very good of them. The question is, though, will they be receiving any reinforcement, or are they to take on the entire BIA by themselves?
Yeah. Ooh, we just had some hits on the Blue 4 plane. That was Alex's plane. I saw at least 2 or 3 hits there. He's now pulling up.
Block gave off.
Yeah, Bluck hit him 3 times.
Ooh, beautiful.
As Alex was strafing that other tank, I'm curious, did you test the specific type of ammunition you gave them on the tanks to verify that they did a good chunk of damage? Because I've seen a lot of hits on this one tank, and yeah, I think the damage has been minimal. It
is quite minimal. You track them quite easily, but to deal actual serious damage, you can only really do it to the M60. The T-72 can take serious damage, but it would take quite a lot of shots.
Gotcha. Malgren's on his 4th kill now. He's pushed in with Urisato, and so far, I mean, 4 of these kills have been... one of them, I remember, was earlier in the north in that original fight, and then he's pushed in, and I think he got the 3 kills on this defensive line, which was 7. Now it's down to 2.
It seems OFCRA has been sent north to try and help out the survivors of the 19th in taking the NATO station. But I mean, I have to wonder what really can be achieved here without armor support. I mean, they're going up against a tank in entrenched position. Block can't give any help.
I think they're going to try to use the SPG-9 car they've got to take it out. They found the Blue 4 240 Vic, which you said was rescripted as an M2.
Yes.
But I think at this point, OFCRA, they've committed both of the groups that were on defense at one at the Pirate Radio Relay, one at the Warsaw Relay, and they're going to now try to take the NATO Relay so they can get those 4 points on the board and then push the remainder of their forces into the remaining town. And they've only got 26 minutes to do it, so that's going to be tough.
Yeah, very much so.
By design, like Blue 4, they have most of their forces in Roche. They've only got 2 squads defending the NATO Relay with a tank. Op 4 at a disadvantage there. Blue 4 still have both their jets. Again,
as we see the 19th south of East Rosh, they pushed too far close to the city, but they had not cleared.
Alex was forced to make an emergency landing because he did get taken out. I think his controls died. Not instruments, but his actual control of the plane, because look at where Alex is. He's on the far top right of the map. So now it's 1v1. He might have also taken a fuel hit. And they were already low on fuel, so that might have made him completely run out because of those 3 hits Bluck gave earlier. So now it's 1v1 in the air. But we also have the other plane landing, I think, because they're out of fuel. So Bluck might have total control of the sky for now. But
it seems they don't know that you can land at the airport. A lot of battles are won and lost in preparation for these kind of missions. Something like that is such a key bit of information.
Yeah. I'm not surprised, though, because you had to also tell them when to take off, because they didn't recall. So I think they just didn't get the information. They didn't look into the information. So...
Yeah, again, first time playing OFCRA event.
Stuff's always going to get lost in translation, especially with 154 people. I mean, that's nuts. And again,
we're still fine.
The server's been surprisingly super stable. Again, little desyncing in the beginning, but that's to be expected, because you're going at 154 freaking players with someone with a Zeus interface.
Yep.
Like, that's amazing. that's honestly amazing.
I'm so happy. I genuinely thought this could have gone horribly.
Yeah.
God forbid an individual could have taken us down, but perfect. Absolutely perfect. There's still sighting in East Rosh, but I mean, to what avail? Blue 4 can fall back across the river, and the fight will be so hard for them.
Now we do have that OFCRA group in the center of Rush, though they could be pushing on this remaining Blue 4 group. They might be able to box in more Blue 4 from coming into this AO2, because this is a bit of a bottleneck, because there's only one street from East Roche to West Roche right here. So if Op 4 can lock this area down, I just saw them trade casualties here. Kratz went down and Aaron went down. So we could see a box in here, but... Damek's desperately trying to stay on the street with that bipoded PKM to keep suppressing, but he's taking fire. Suppresses that window to make that shooter go out. And Damek's now has to reload, but he could be caught out here. He then rebipods. Now you got Bluck over in the AO. Damage continuing his suppression. And this building's actually changed textures to the damage texture too, so more damage could potentially take it out. But I think damage just got taken out. Finally, a shot got lined up on him, but we have a T-72 entering the AO.
This is huge. Both Settler on top of that roof with a BKM and the T-72. This is very, very huge.
Settler is getting suppressed here. That tank, again, if they can bottleneck Blue 4 here, it could turn around, but Blue 4, they're already pushing another squad, and I think the fact that they're taking fire in this AO has added urgency to it. And now we're seeing more Blue 4 coming in on the flanking side. Also to the south, we see a smoking MTLB. I think that was the remains of that southern group that got wiped earlier. And we still have OFCRA. Malgren is sparring off with these remaining Blue 4 guys, still up to only 4 kills, staying on the rooftop here, or excuse me, the second story. And Orbit's trying to breach around, might catch Malgren here. Malgren spots him though, and takes him out. That's kill number 5 for Malgren. So 2 major firefights are happening here. The other one hasn't started for that NATO relay station. But we just heard the SPG-9 car fire and miss at the tank.
Very important miss.
That command turret's now firing over in the direction of that OPFOR force.
Second shot.
Second shot also misses. Tank is now turning. Ooh, lag spike there. Now the tank has stopped, realizing it's taking heavy fire, knocks Fred out. There's a third shot too, and that missed. Oh.
Oh, that's such a huge...
I think they're not going to be able to take the relay station in time.
They have an RPG, but the person who has the RPG is knocked out. I mean, at some point, you've got to just take the blunt.
We have to see OPFOR's other force here just desperately push in the town and flank that tank. They're going to take heavy casualties from this 3-man BIA group in the forest, but it's just 3 single-shot rifles. No, they have an M... Oh, my God. Someone has an Igla and an MG3.
I mean, there has been some serious looting taking place here.
I'm not surprised. I mean, it's good stuff. Yeah, me too.
I just don't know how taking this zone can really help at this point in time.
I love how on the top right of the second Roche capture zone, you got 2 dudes chilling in the riverbed. They're doing their part. And looks like Blue 4 pulled the rest of their forces out from the top right of the map. Looks like Malgren was taken out. Is he still... I want to find his final kill count.
What did that... What?
He was up to 7 kills and he had his handgun out when he died. Lovely. 20 minutes left. Oh, God. The SPG-9 truck just cooked off and knocked 3 of them out.
The RPG shot and missed.
Yeah.
There were some very, very costly misses from the FAWR. That.
And then the remaining garrison in Roche right now, yes, they have the tank, but they have a very small amount of people, and they have at least a force 3 times their size pushing in on them. And there's not really anything additional to come in here and help. We have one of the tank crews that's bailed out. Bixfold, he's running up to this abandoned T-72. He's going to go check on it. The other tank might still be detracked in the back. It's maintaining Overwatch. But we might see that push in. We have its, I do see its turret is damaged partially. Bixford, no, it's Biffixed. That's it. He takes fire from the 3 guys in the northern tree line, but he might, these guys might get flanked immediately by Uni and Thier here. And Bluck, I think he's just maintaining an orbital here. You got the Mi-8 also coming in to fly around, but I don't know. It's going to be a desperate fight here. And those 3 Blue 4 guys, because OFCRA, they're staying in the tree line, these 3 Blue 4 guys might be able to get on the rear and do serious damage to this remaining group. I mean, we could see a last-minute OPFOR just pushes the NATO relay, captures it, and desperately holds it, and the tank isn't able to kill him at that point, but that's going to be a play made really close to the clock, but I'm really worried with these 3 Blue 4 guys back here. I don't think OFCRA is pulling rear security at the moment.
No,
nope.
Not at all. The
guy closest to him is the guy with the AT out. He's got a nice angle. RPG fired it short.
Oh, yet another miss.
And this one, over.
Well, over.
Tank's gonna start scanning the tree line. You got those 3 blue 4 guys right there. It starts suppressing randomly.
Oh, such huge misses.
One of those RPGs was from a single shot disposable. Next RPG goes in, over. Whiffs about, I want to say, 1/3 of a meter above the tank. One of the OFCRA guys gets taken out. Tackle gets shot by the MG3 by Bovin.
Yeah, I don't see how this attack can materialize.
I just saw some OFCRA guys turn around. One of them that turned around then gets killed by the tank. Oh, this is brutal. That tank gunner, he's on 6 kills, and the commander turret's on 3.
Yeah.
Brutal.
A lack of a tank being assigned to this push has just,
yeah,
it's
cost them.
fatal.
Looking back over at Roche real quick. The T-72 is now turned to right. It's looking over at where that other firefight's going on. We got a skirmish here. Fear here has an M72 law, and he takes out the MI8.
Oh my god.
I guess they were going to mount up in it. There's command elements here. Great grenade throw. And he gets shot in the back, too. And there's the aircraft cooking off.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest, in the grand scope of things, it doesn't do much. But in his shoes, the Blue 4 guys, I would have probably gone for taking out the helicopter, too. Because it's a helicopter, and you have AT, and why not? Just for the hell of it. But you don't know if they're trying to use that to reposition troops or whatnot, so by at least denying them that. Oh god, OFCRA's down to 5 people. They're now outnumbered by the remaining Blue 4 garrison. And the only remaining guy on the other side is someone unconscious in the SPG-9 car. Oh, it hurts.
Now, we're seeing in the 3-man team north of... oh, loading parachute out. It's coming down.
Yeah, he's coming in as, he's one of the pilots. I think the Huey ran over and picked them up. Yeah, loading was all the way to the north, but Block's following the Huey.
He has a pistol. Cheeseburger needs a pistol. What? What just took place?
I missed it. Loading, I saw get hit by a grenade.
Yeah, but it killed Cheeseburger as well. I'm so incredibly confused.
Oh my god. And he gets taken out. Was busy watching the Block. He just shot down the Huey.
Oh.
Dang, I missed both of them. Oh well. The 3 OFCRA guys, Blue 4 guys in the rear just took Shay out. Now there's only 2 OFCRA guys back there. Bovin, 3 kills with that MG. Black Shadow's also got 1 kill with his G3 rifle. The only hope OFCRA now has is to hold Roche, but they also need to kill quite a few of these Blue 4 guys.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
I don't see it either. Is the tank still at play for off-grid, essentially?
Yep.
That's key. That'll be their saving grace.
It's just a waiting game at this point. AA fired. Misses Bluck because Bluck dives and is able to evade the shot. But that one was going to hit him if he didn't make an evasive action. More Blue 4 coming into the purple zone.
Interesting. M113 coming in with the blue NATO zone. The blue.
You're not going to believe this. You know the saving grace?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They flipped themselves and cooked themselves off.
Oh, that's such a shame.
Oh, that actually sucks. Like that, I don't see how OPFOR can win this one now because it's just a numbers game.
Very high temptation to flip that because they did kind of get armored, but I'm curious. I didn't see how it went down, so I can't verify.
Mm-hmm.
Now they can unflip it.
I see him calling on the radio. Engine's still on. They're getting that repaired on it at least, but... Oh. Oh my god, you got two Blue 4 guys sweeping the northern riverbed as well. They're on the other side, and I think they spotted the two Op 4 guys too, but I think Op 4 spotted them.
Settler is in the best position that anyone can go for right now. He's on top of a building with a huge PKM in a position to do massive damage on both the eastern flanks and the southern flank.
One gets knocked out. And now you got Blue 4 entering with a 113. All right, Op 4, they had a guy get knocked out. He's woken back up. I mean, there's still a few guys they can trickle in. They still have that tank on the outside, but it hasn't moved, so it's either detracked or out of fuel.
Yep.
I would assume the latter, though, because I've not heard the engine come on.
Oh, I concur.
All right, you still got Settler, as you called out. He is suppressing with that machine gun. He's gotten a second kill in the meantime. Kratz and Mahdi going aggressive, but they're taking fire from a southern garrison. OFCRA has to be offensive at this rate to actually have a chance, but we're seeing Blue 4 firing AT into buildings as a shock weapon. I love seeing that.
I would be so surprised if Block has any ammo left.
Yeah, I think he's just doing orbitals at this point.
Yeah.
I think that three-man group on the forest has folded into the garrison itself. Yeah, they brought the 113 in.
I think they're going to attempt to bug out.
Op 4, they could solid snake their way into the AO and touch it.
Yeah, that would be enough.
But they're not going to. I don't think so. But they could totally solid snake it.
There are two Blue 4 watching just that approach as well. I think it's a tricky one.
You spot the two Blue 4, you then pull back further in the forest, you then flank all the way around on the northern side. You're running at the perfect angle.
The shame they lost the helicopter. That would have been definitely a suicide mission for sure.
We just need to see OFCRA form up the forces to the northeast of Roche and then push them in on the rear, and then maybe they'll have a chance if they can catch the rear of some of these Blue 4 guys. But we have 10 minutes remaining in the round. How many people do you think they need to flip that tank?
I think 8. I think 8 people.
Look at that camp. Smart call, though.
Such a huge asset if they could do it as well.
Yeah, they only have 5 around it right now. They're by one of the Blue 4 spawns. They're looting for stuff. I love it. All right. I want to be honest, this has been a very slow burning round across everything. Oh, and Coffee gets knocked out.
Oh, are they going to try and do it?
That's forcing Mac to pop some smoke here. Coffee still has an RPG. The tank's coming around. No, that's the 113 driving around. Tank's still holding defensive in the area there. Now, I have an idea. What if Block flies low, jumps out, pops his parachute over 100 meters, otherwise they'll go into the fall animation, and then just runs in there and touches it? Is the control of all 3 relays calculated at the end of the round?
No, the exact time it happens.
Block still has ammo. And he puts some rounds. They land to the left and around. He only got 1 hit on the track of the tank. Now the 113 is blindly suppressing. Oh my gosh, they've brought everyone over. Is it enough?
Ooh.
Is that 8? It's 8.
Oh, I see movement.
The power of teamwork. If Blue 4 catches them,
shoots them all.
Oh.
Or even worse, if
the tank flips and like knocks them over. Oh my god, it just doesn't want to flip over.
I'm so afraid to watch this. And they're
Come
hearing
on.
rolling as well, right?
The
They're
power of friendship. Let's do it. I want them to flip it and be happy about it, and then the freaking 113
Explodes.
pushes around, just kills them all, or it explodes.
hits the tree, explodes.
Yeah, now they're freaking out because that engine sound's getting louder.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, it's a tank, it's a tank. It's like, oh, it's a 113,
Oh
it's
my
very
God.
113. But to be fair though, if it is a tank, the best thing to kill a tank is another tank. Time to get on it, fellas.
You might be right. Yeah, they got their AT out and everything. What is
They're all
the
standing
tank
around doing
shooting
nothing. They
at?
have to commit to this. Do it. Just do it.
I don't know what that other T-72 is firing at. Yeah, I think they're pulling all the infantry back. They're going to try again. It's their Hail Mary in the form of a tank.
Yep.
And Bluck is strafing the NATO position, but all they've done is force Blue 4 to consolidate around that one terminal site. All right. Oh, God, it's going to land on him. Yes! Oh, they didn't lose anyone to it, though. Oh, my God.
That is so... Is it the best part is I wonder if it's even uniform. Oh, actually it is.
113 now pushing up the street.
They're all there like, I'm hearing noise, fellas. I'm hearing noise.
Kuwait has his RPG out, but that 113 is going to turn right. Or left. That's a left. It turns south. Let's go with that. I can't get that wrong. And we got the rest of OFCRA consolidating on the other side of Roche. They're going to start pushing in. 6 minutes remaining. Bluck doing another strafe. He's baiting out the enemy vehicles to fire at him. And Blue 4 is going to push their vehicle up to Mac over there. Yep, Coin has that AT ready, but the 113, I think, just pushed south. It's going even further south. It's going out of the AO. With 3 dudes. I don't know if they're going to flank around maybe to the western side of Roche, or if they're just, you know what they might do? They might be trying to go for the radio relay stations and back cap them.
Ooh, that'd be huge.
I don't think they can get to both of them in 6 minutes with that 113. It's going to be very close. Like a car would have been better. But that would solidify the victory.
Yeah, definitely.
Where's the tank going? Oh, don't tell me they're going to pull the tank out to go to the NATO relay station.
That's such a waste of
It's too late at this point. I mean, I get it, because the tank in the middle of a town isn't that good, but for shelling buildings that have enemy garrisons, I feel like it would be a bit better, but I guess OPFOR doesn't know that that's the case here.
Also, OPFOR has no men there. The men are gone.
Yeah, as you say that, Kobe tried to push in and got knocked out, so...
I think the tank was turned around. It's listened to our words of advice.
I think it hurt, like, was in comms with Kobe or something, and then he went down and like, oh, bad idea. Let's go for this. And again, OFCRA, they've got all these dudes to the east, but they're just being so slow to push them. It's pissing me off.
Yeah.
They've abandoned the other tank, too.
They certainly have manpower. They're just... It's not being well used right now.
Now, I am occasionally seeing a Blue 4 marker disappear here and there, so they are taking casualties, whereas OFCRA, they haven't lost a guy yet. We're seeing some more attacking. Another Blue 4 guy just disappeared from the northeastern push, but I don't think they have enough time. They've got less than 4 minutes. Maybe if they smash through these 2 garrisons and then get all of the OPFOR troops in here, they could have enough to win that sector. But, I mean, 4 minutes...
It's certainly very tricky.
The only way I see that 113 getting to both is if they drive close to one, dismount a guy, and then immediately book it north. I don't see them making it to both sites in now 3.5 minutes. Bluck, meanwhile, he's doing strafes. Oh, he cooked off the 113?
Yeah, that's very good play from Bluck.
Ooh!
Because not only does that, it just means they can't move. So that is an entire
But there's
section
bodies next to it, too.
Oh, even some free kills. Take that.
Yeah. He's on no kills, though. I think the cook-off got it, but there is a dead Blue 4 by the 113, so... Oh, that's what they're doing. The tank is going to the radio relay, the pirate one, and the 113 is going for the Warsaw one.
Ah.
So now at 3 minutes, both of them can get there in time. Cheeky. Smart,
I think the tank
though.
might have some issues. Maybe, yeah, 3 minutes. 3 minutes they can definitely do it.
I think they can make it in time. We do see OFCRA pushing to these garrisons now. They just lost, I think that was, I'm gonna have to click on the name to remember. They lost Settler there. Their PKM gunner.
Oh, tank took a hit.
No, hit the building above.
Hit the building above. Oh. Oh, but if it keeps to go down this road, it will get hit.
Adamek's gonna breach. There's only 2 Blue 4 guys left in there. We just saw an RPG fire into that building. The thing is, I think OFCRAs are gonna lose too many people on these assaults, so the kills they're gonna get is gonna be for naught, and they're not gonna have enough to take the zone.
Oh, I agree.
Adamek, he's got a PKM. He's gonna push in. Door opens. I think Aaron heard the door open there, but he gets PKM to the face. And then PKM guy gets shot to shit. And now where's the tank going? I think the tank is in comms with Block to try to push the pirate radio. It's over. Nope, it's over.
It is. It very much is for OFCRA at this point in time.
It was a good fight, but I honestly think OFCRA, normally I see them a lot more aggressive with each other. They were a lot more defensive in this one.
Yep, for sure.
And I think it cost them. All right, there's Warsaw Pack secure. You got Jarvis securing the other one in the center. I mean, the tank's not even going to get within a click of the pirate radio station before that last minute runs out, even though it's traveling on an MSR.
Yep, blue. They've made that one blue. And once we see the flags disappear outside the front, we know the objective is done.
Mm-hmm. All of them are blue.
Yep, I think the objective is done.
More OFCRA guys are breaching from the rooftop here. And they managed to knock out Metlick. You got Jonathan and Lolo. They've come around south. They're trying to take out Wool and Flip. But now, on OFCRA's side, they've got 2 Blue 4 guys that are coming from the rear. They managed to get a kill. And wound another. You have a... Oh, that's cute. You have a Blue 4 tank in here. I think they thought it was either really shallow or they could swim. A grenade being thrown under. That knocks out 3 of them. And that other grenade gets 2 kills, and that's it. A stomp out.
A complete victory for... Ooh.
Neither side gets the air superiority because both of the Blue 4 jets landed. And that's that.
Ooh, I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was really well. I'm very happy with that. OFCRA may not have won. You know,
I think it was a great balance.
Yeah, that was for that was actually really like back and forth. I was very happy with that one. To say that could have been such a fight. That could have been
a nightmare. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Are you gonna do a bonus round?
Yeah, we have a second mission ready, and then we have some arena if people are down. But yeah, thank you for your time with that.
Yep.
But
I have to go make dinner, unfortunately, but I hope it goes well, man.
Yeah, thank you, fella.
All right. Thank you so much for watching. Go off right operational. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. Cheers.
All right, talk to you a bit.
And have a good one. See you, man.